too much has been going on. It's been super busy. It's been, what, 4 weeks since school started, but I have not had time to do anything besides teaching. So the eclipse was cool, wasn't it? Yeah, I know, that's kind of old news, but that's probably the last thing that happened that was super cool, or I should say the first thing that happened that was pretty cool since recording. But I did get to see the eclipse. It was super cool. I put pictures on Snapchat and Instagram. It was like the big thing. But after that weekend, that was the very first weekend. So the previous video about me unboxing the stuff, that was the eclipse day. After that, the next weekend was Red Rocks Canyon, and that was a super fun weekend. Basically, it was like a retreat thing for like the students and the staff to get to know each other, and I got to lead out one of the hikes. And yeah, I know, leading out one of the hikes, right? And when I let out, I had like maybe 5 or 6 kids that, I mean, I didn't know them because the classes had only been happening like 3 or 4 days. So I was still getting to know them and stuff. But when we went on that excursion, we were just like, the goal was to try to find as many unique things as you could. So you would still get like 1 point if you found something, and then 2 points if you could name what it was, 3 points if you can name the scientific name, and 4 points if nobody else had it in any of the other teams. And I think out of the 6 teams, we got like 2nd or 3rd, so we weren't bad. Mostly it's because of the scientific names. But some of the students still talk about that day, like, oh, it was so much fun going on the hike and stuff like that. We had to go like half an hour out and half an hour back, so it was like an hour hike in total. And we didn't think we would make it, but we found water and we found like all this crazy stuff, and it was pretty fun. That weekend, then a lot of things had to change. So I already have my way of teaching, like all this stuff. I am slightly strict with things being on time. Like if it's not on time, like, eh. But because the students also work in the afternoon, it's kind of hard to do that, and they have a lot less time to study than, when I did it when I was in high school. So due to that, I'm having to change some things and all that kind of stuff, like scheduling and policy. But I felt like it's better to be too strict and then just, relax a little bit afterwards to see how it goes, rather than be super relaxed and realize, oh, I have to be more strict. So I think it's going better. Now all the students are like, oh, he has a heart, he cares. He's not just this strict math teacher, which I learned that every single classroom has its own dynamic. Like, it's crazy. My Algebra 1 class, I have about 10 students. 6 of them are freshmen, 3 sophomores, and 1 junior. And they're all doing pretty well. Some of them are slacking a little bit, but it's all good. And so I have them come into class every day. They know what to do. There's something written on the board. So they do about 5 questions while I'm taking attendance and getting everything ready for the day. I'm already there like half an hour early, but whatever. And then they joke around once they're done. And once they start talking, then I know it's time to start. So I'll engage just for a minute or two, just to kind of, get the feel for the day. And then we pray, we go over the warm-up. That's what I call it. It's called a bell ringer technically, but it's like... And then I have my Algebra 2 class right after, 2nd period. So it's kind of nice. Algebra 1, 1st period. Algebra 2, 2nd period. That's always nice. And I have about 5 students in that class. And 3 of them are juniors and 2 of them are seniors. And one of them is like skyrocketing. Like, I think she's going to finish the book before the end of the year happens. But I've already planned for that. So I've already planned a thing on like matrices and matrix multiplication, all that stuff that I was talking about in a couple videos back, that kind of stuff. So, and then I have stuff on imaginary numbers. So if she finishes, I got stuff for her, believe me. But she's also my grader, so she's doing great with that. Another thing is I have a 3rd period that's free, and I'll talk about more of that in a minute. And then I have 2 geometry classes. One is like an ESL geometry, and then the other one is like for everybody else. But it's not, due to scheduling, I have 1 ESL and the other, and then 1 non-ESL, and so it's kind of like, it's not exactly, but kind of. And then I have my chemistry class, my last period of the day, which is super nice, because if it needs to go into lunch, it can. So they don't finish labs. Haha. It's either food or their grade. No, I let them go grab their lunch, and then they do the lab at the same time. So their lab partners kind of switch off, and that seems to be working. But besides changing teaching strategies, it's been taking me, it took me about, I didn't start implementing them about a week ago. So 2 weeks happened, about a week and a half, and I was like, okay, I think I need to start changing some stuff, and I was prepared for that, procedural changes that happened. And after that was week of prayer, so I didn't want to change anything during week of prayer. There was tests that were going to happen during week of prayer, so I just extended, an extra review day in class, so they have the time to do that. And then after that was just this last week, so it's been 4 weeks, and this last week was when the schedules have been changing, and I think the policies have been good in my opinion, but it's only been a week, so I'll have to see. But I'm trying to appeal to each classroom dynamic what they need and which particular student needs what. So I'm trying to make it more an individualized, differentiated kind of instruction, since I have a lot less students than normal, because I probably have less than what a normal sized classroom has, and I have 5. So I basically have one entire, I teach 25 kids in total, maybe, out of the 39 that there are. So I basically teach freshmen, sophomores, juniors, except for like one of the freshmen. But on top of teaching, I don't just teach. I also do some other fun stuff, like deaning. So during deaning, I only dean on Sundays, and Sundays, I only do it in the afternoon. I do it from about 5:15 till about 10 o'clock at night. They go to bed at 9:30, but, I stay there a little bit longer before the other dean comes in, and we switch off, and we catch up and whatever. Because we're friends. We're cool. And I actually went to college with, well, I didn't. He left Ouachita like a year before I came, but we saw each other and heard about each other for a long time. But then we actually about to meet, and then we're pretty cool. So we're good friends. And forgot what I was going with that. Yes, deaning. And I had a super crazy experience deaning. Do I even have time? I'm going to go into it anyway. So one of the days, all the deans were gone. One of them had the weekend off, one of them was on a trip, and then the other one was, he's a canvassing director, so he left. And we don't have an official dean, so we split it between 4 of the staff guys. And, which 3 of us are not married, and one of them is, which happens to be the principal's husband. But he's the one technically in charge, but we have our fun times. Anyway, they told me, hey, no one's going to be there all of Sunday. Instead of doing from 5:15 to 10, can you do from about 10 in the morning or 9 in the morning till about 10 o'clock at night? And I was like, okay, that's fine. You guys need your time off. And usually it doesn't coincide all in one weekend. That probably happens like twice or 3 times a year. And the dean's coming in next week, so it'll literally only happen this one time. So I was like, okay, sure, I can do that, no problem. I thought I could do grading and all that stuff in between, and I wouldn't get as much done because I'm deaning, but some things would happen. They didn't tell me anything. I didn't know what to do. They were like, here are the keys, bye. I'd never deaned before. I'm a teacher, so the guys were good though. They would I would do something and they're like, well, the dean doesn't usually do that. They don't allow that. I was like, okay. I won't allow that then. Then they asked, so can we do it? I was like, well, no. And they're like, oh, okay, man. Then they walk off. And so they were cool. They knew they couldn't get away with much. And I didn't know what time to put them to bed. I didn't know what time to wake them up the next morning. I didn't know when to serve meals. I didn't know anything. I didn't know where the keys were because I only had like 2 keys. One to open the door and one to unlock one of the closets where a bunch of stuff were. And apparently when I unlocked that closet, one of the drawers had the rest of the keys that I needed, but I didn't know that at the time. They didn't find that out until a few days ago? I don't remember. I think I was dating last week, because this happened 2 weeks ago. And apparently, since no one was going to be there at 10 o'clock at night, of course, everyone's off on Sunday. So no one decided who was going to be the one to replace me after 10 o'clock. And everyone's phone was dead, apparently, because I contacted like 3 people. I eventually got to the girls' dean, and she was like, just run to your house, pack a bag, and be prepared for tomorrow morning to wake up. I was like, oh man, okay. So I didn't have access to the dean's apartment. So I just slept on one of the couches inside the lobby, and I just slept there until the next morning. I woke up like every hour. I was like, what am I supposed to do? I ended up waking the guys like at 5:30. They were totally cool with it. I think they're supposed to wake up at that time, maybe 5:40. I don't know, something like that. I just guessed because breakfast was at 6:30, so I was like, an hour before sounds good. And but yeah, it went well. It was just very stressful. And the next day they were like, I am so sorry. I didn't realize that this happened and all this stuff. And I was like, nah, it's cool, it's cool. I'm realizing more and more that this video is going to be super long. Well, super long as in maybe like 10 minutes. About that, staff and staff. We're all like pretty cool. Like we all have like our little WhatsApp group. And on there, one of the cooks accidentally posted, oh, hey, get the quesadillas ready. We need the beans and rice and the lettuce or something like that. And one of the staff replied, hey, are we having quesadillas for lunch? And she's like, oh yeah, sorry, we're on group. And all the staff start replying, can you let us know what lunch is gonna be and da 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 da. So you see like all these comments like, add me to the lunch group. So now we have like a official staff group and then an official find out what lunch is staff group. So they post what lunch is every day. It's been happening since like Thursday. It was super funny the first day because we're all in class teaching and stuff. And the people who aren't teaching, then they post something or they give the students a random assignment. It's like, okay, here's this assignment. And then they'll go back to texting on the group, like, what's for lunch? So it was super funny to see. The most hilarious thing was coming out of the ad building. And all you see is, along with the mob of students going to lunch, is a mob of staff going behind them and everybody coming in from their, you know, whether it's from working out in the field or from carpentry or from auto mechanics or from the country store. Country store is like the little cafeteria that they have, or a cafeteria, the little store that they own where they sell fruit. And all the staff just come to eat the quesadillas. So it's been pretty fun. But I also have like our little third period group, which is the science teacher, the registrar, the English teacher, and myself, and the Bible teacher. All of us have third period off because it's basically just history, health, and like one of the other English teachers' classes, and music. So all of the other people that teach math and science and the other English and Bible, we're all off. So during third period, we all talk to each other. We don't really have a staff break room necessarily. It's pretty messy in there. So we all just hang out with the registrar, and it's pretty cool. Now you may be wondering, well, if I'm so busy, how do I have the time to do this? Well, it's probably been about 20 minutes since I first recorded, so hopefully this video is not 20 minutes. With me doing this, it's going to be 20 minutes. It's my weekend off. So each staff has their weekend rotation. So there's week one, group one, group two, and group three. And we each get 1 week off. And it doesn't matter what week of the month it is, just as long as we all rotate. Except for certain weekends, like if there's a school event on that weekend or something. And there's about 6 or 7 what we call closed weekends, where no matter what weekend off you have, you should be there reporting to help out with the students, because there's going to be a bunch of them to take care of. So today is my weekend off along with group 1, because I am part of group 1. So it's pretty great. I've been just in my room chilling out. And I went to like some other church just to kind of get a change of pace. Oh yeah, speaking about that, I didn't even talk to, oh man, there's so much. One of my college friends, Nathan Fender, if you remember him, Rebecca will remember him. He has parents that live in not a retirement home, but like a community of people who are retired. So they're not being taken care of. It's just kind of a cool place, and it's an Adventist place. It's a little village. I forgot what they call it. But anyway, his parents live there. So I've been invited to eat at their house on Sabbath lunch a few times since I've been here. And they're like, oh yeah, we must feed you, because the mom is Filipino, so we got along pretty well. So she's great. They invite some friends over when I'm over as well. So sometimes it's just the 3 of us, the parents and I, or sometimes it's a whole group that they invite. So it's been pretty fun. The first day I spent like 4 hours getting to know them, because I've only met them a couple times. Like one time at graduation, and one time when I canvassed in Michigan like 4 years back. So it's been pretty fun hanging out with them. And I forgot what I was going with that. Yes, so during my weekend off, I was there too. And yeah, Sunday has been super relaxing since it's my weekend off. I also don't dean today, hopefully, because it's also the other guy's dean's weekend off. So either he has to work the whole thing that I did last time as well. I don't know how they're going to arrange that, but it's nice to know it's not my responsibility. My responsibility is just to communicate. Yeah, communication is will get you a very, very long way. Another update, I got a cat. My cat is not here. She is outside, and I will leave her there because she is dirty, and I have not cleaned her since I got her. Short story is there was a barn. There was 2 cats. One of the cats died over the summer. There's only one lonely cat there, and she is amazing. Her name is Smokey. If you want to see her, she's on my Instagram, and I am not going to give you a link to my Instagram because you should know it already. And yeah, it's on my Facebook though, so just look up my name. And so she's mine. There was a poster in the local store that had her up for adoption, I guess, and the poster was up there for like a month, and no one wanted to adopt her. No one was in the market for a cat. And I thought I would be in the market for a cat, so I went up to him, and I went up to the guy, he's this big guy, working on a farm, and I was like, hey, so what about the cat? He's like, oh yeah, the cat's just living in the barn. And I was like, can I have her? I didn't say it like that. It was obviously more dignified. And a lot of colloquial language to kind of, meet his level. Not that he was lower, just to, relate with him. Canvassing, come on now, you know this. And he was like, oh yeah, I have like 2 big, like, they're probably like 10-gallon buckets. So I have 2 5-gallon buckets full of like cat food. And the water, of course, I don't pay for water, so it doesn't really matter. And because the school pays for it. And so I basically can take care of a free cat for like till January. All I have to do is like pet her to keep her sanity. So I do that. So she comes over and we have naps together. And she's a nice cat. She licks me on my hand and on my face and curdles my hair. Not curdles my hair. Scratches my hair. I don't know what she does. She messes it all up though. And probably the last update is I have a bunch of projects to do. So let me specify. Next to the school where I'm at, there's a place called Messiah's Mansion, which is where I live, which is this room, actually. I have never recorded in my room because I've never really had good internet here until they reinstalled new internet. So being at the Messiah's Mansion, we have trips that the Messiah's Mansion people go, and they set up an entire big sanctuary and show them how, it was during, I think what they set up is the Exodus one, like when they go through the desert, the Israelite, the very first sanctuary, whatever, template. And yeah, they do it very well. So the students are tour guides when they get trained by their senior year. But during their sophomore and junior year, that's when they help to set it up. That's when they help the tour guides. That's when they get to know their script. They do a little bit of homework along the way, only math homework, so that's me. Because that's what they're required to do. Because it's hard to get all the math skills in 1 year with a 2-week gap. So to help out with that, the people who left on the trip, which is my sophomores and juniors, and mind you, I teach freshmen, sophomores, and juniors, except for 1 freshman, and I also teach 2 seniors. So since the sophomores and juniors are gone, that's basically all my students. I probably have 6, 7, 8. I have 10 left because I have 6 freshmen, 2 juniors, no, 2 seniors. No, wait, I have 8 freshmen and 2 seniors left. So I have 10 students in total out of all my classes. So 2 of my classes have completely dropped this last week, and so far next week and partially the week after. It's a lot. This video is super long because I see every clip being about a minute. So I've been looking up random YouTube videos, random activities and stuff like that for them to do for about 6 or 7 more days while I buy some time. But I have some pretty cool stuff like Fibonacci sequences, calculating pi by hand, calculating how the Earth rotates and what it looks like when it actually spins like this instead of like this, because it's blasting through space because the sun goes this way. So if the sun is blasting and so is the Earth is rotating around the sun, and it's actually at a 60-degree angle, and this one is actually at a degree angle as well. So it's actually going down and expanding because we're on the expanding universe right here downwards. So we're going downwards and spiraling this way, and even when we spiral this way, we don't actually spiral in a complete circle because of partial Anyway, there's a Vsauce video about it. So yeah, that has been my last 4 months, 4 weeks. It feels like months. And that's why I've been super busy to record. So I had other clips that I had recorded throughout the time, so I'll plug in a couple just to show I actually did record. But I basically just watched all my videos and I consolidated them and just so I can wear the same shirt. And look, it's a Sanctuary shirt. I didn't even plan that. Just the behind the scenes footage. Behind the scenes footage. There's my computer. These are my books that I had to stack in order to make it, you know, looks like it's facing me. So look at all these books. Hacksaw Ridge. And this is a really good book. Those are good books. They're all great books. Read them during college. This is my messy bed. As you can see, it's totally stretched out different. My boxes that I haven't unpacked. There's my closet. Here's some paintings. Here's that sign that I got before I left. And this is the table where I'm recording at. That's my air conditioner. That's my mini fridge. And that's breakfast. And my water bottle. And there's my door. And that's supposed to be the bathroom. And yeah, that's basically my room. It's like a hotel room. And it's kind of nice.